WB8ELK students are doing it in their Space Hardware Club, and they've got a nice lab setup going. Figure out how I have that mounted here. Oh, there it is. Kind of sticks to itself a little bit. The drawback of these Yokohama balloons is their filling port is so small compared to the ones we've used before. It's a little tricky. Now, what I do is I put a little tiny hole right towards, there's not much sticking out from the balloon as opposed to a lot of the other ones I've used. So it makes it a little tricky. So I have to be very careful not to hit inside the balloon, and I'm just going to do a little hole right at the edge there. Just so it's got enough to hook onto.
Is that what you're going to tie it onto?
Eventually, yeah. All right. What I need right now is just a little hole to put the weight in. Because now that weight should fit through that hole and still not go up through the ceiling. There we go. All right. Another thing about these balloons, the newer ones have a little silver strip on them, and that's where you stick the and a little tab. The ones, the earlier batch, were really tricky to open up and get something in. These new ones are a little easier. So you just slide that underneath that silver part. You don't have to slide it all the way in. You just have to get it part way. Get the tank turned on.
Get a hand.
There we go. And now,
Hydrogen or helium?
this is helium. Get into blockage there. There. $1,700 PSI. Should be pretty good. Oh, that's there we go. Now that's better. I kind of roll that back. That tubing's a little wider than the tube. You don't want it to leak, so I'd kind of roll it over and get a little. Ah, now we go. There we go.
How many will that tank do?
8. This is about the smallest tank you can buy. I actually bought that tank. It was about $120 just for the physical tank.
And the regulator?
And the regulator is another $50. You can get one that's a little cheaper that doesn't have this fancy metal thing on it. Now when it gets to the point where it's about to lift itself off the ground, you got to be a little careful because you don't want to overinflate it, and it's easy to overinflate it.
That's our most common mistake.
So when it's starting to just about lift itself up and it's getting close to that, you want to take a little bit of a measurement here. Just make sure. It's not enough to lift itself yet, so, but you have to be very careful at this point. It's so easy to overinflate it. About 1 second is about a 1 second burst is about a half gram of lift. So if you're getting close now, see, I've probably got a couple of grams of lift now just from that little 3 second burst. So you put that through that little hole. I must have some material in the hole this time.
So your weight there's calculated the free lift plus the payload and string and.
That's right. There we go. So right now it's saying minus 50. So I'm already up to, now I'm going to have to close the door so everybody else come on in because we don't want any breezes to do this measurement. Everybody else?
Close the door.
Aaron, you can come up.
Feel a breeze.
I'm already up to 15 grams lift. And my goal is 20.7. See, I calculated it all out. The weight of the swivel line, the weight of the tape, the total is 13.7, including the payload, the swivel line, the tape. I had to calculate the tape. I had to estimate that. 7 grams of free lift. I have to lift 20.7 on that scale. Right now it's up and right around 13 and a half.
How sensitive is that to temperature?
As long as the temperature is the same as the outside conditions, but yeah, but you do have to.
It's not used many times. Yeah. We've also put them in ocean buoys for yellow.
I gave it about a 3-second shot. Should be up around 18 grams now.
They work pretty well.
Sorry.
Good.
If you go over, did you squeeze some out of it? Oh, yeah.
That's satellite.
That's the other antenna.
That's the other antenna, yeah. It's a
What I
dipole.
recommend, if it's not much over, it's like a gram. Put a gram weight on it.
Looks like a little satellite, doesn't it? With the wings coming out. Kind of is, really.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What altitude did you calculate this for?
38,000,
Oh, that's good.
maybe 37 because it's ceiling. If it was hydrogen, it'd make 40. It's about a 2,000 or 3,000 feet difference between helium and hydrogen.
And the charging is
We were in 41 last year.
Give or take, it's very different,
So
but
we're probably going to be right around
Oh, yeah.
37 to 38.
maybe I try to just use it outside if at all possible.
Yeah, just do it up, everything
Maybe a
outside.
little leak is just gonna go away.
Do you assemble it in your garage at home and then transport it in your car to your site, or how do you do that?
You could do that as long as you protected the envelope. But any sharp objects, I mean, it's pretty tough actually. It's a really tough balloon.
How do you get your weight to be the right, how are you creating the weight on your scale there?
Oh, I put the 50 gram weight on it, I zero it, and then whatever is negative is what it's lifting.
You can also use a water bottle, you know, with the right amount of water, as we
Yeah.
usually do.
I get it now, you don't worry about what that weight is, you're worrying about what it's lifting.
Right. It's called the free lift is what you're looking at, yeah. How much is left over after the payload, that's what makes the balloon go up. And if you have too much, it can pop.
Don't try to float it too high up.
Well, I don't think that'll happen, it may just pop when it overpressurizes. So it can only stand a small pressure difference.
Is it varying around the building as the balloon
I don't know yet what's going on here. Still only 12 and a half.
More dense.
You may have been touching the ground, you may have been touching the bench.
It didn't look like it. Sure.
Oh, it was touching the bench.
I was touching the bench.
Ah, that's what it was doing. Okay. So we got a little ways to go here. Give it about 10 seconds. Now I can feel some work done.
Whoa, whoa, you okay?
Yeah. Let's put this up on
Okay, now we're good. Now we're talking.
There you go.
Yeah, it was touching the bench earlier. Now it's about 18, so we're getting really close.
So is that a Chinese balloon?
This is a Japanese one. And they are clear balloons from China, but their quality assurance is pretty bad. So,
sushi on
and they won't go as high because they're once again those are pancake balloons.
Don't the
All right, I'm
Japanese
gonna
have
give
a
it about.
history with balloons?
What's that?
Don't the Japanese have a history with balloons?
It was only a couple months ago, like
I'll go.
60,000 feet.
What's that? Oh yeah.
That wasn't a pancake, was it?
No, that was a 60-foot diameter balloon. There you go, 1,000 feet. of
Oh, it's very close. I could actually fly it at that, but I'd be a little low on the lift. So I'm looking for 20.7, I'm at 19.6. So one or two little short bursts, then I'm gonna be right there.
Your payload's still around 15, right, or is it a little less?
I am
With those
12.95 for this one, because I had to use the substitute super caps that are a little heavier than my traditional ones. I
Okay.
can't get the flat pack ones for a while,
Okay.
they're back ordered. Typically I'm about 12.3, but this one weighs about a half gram heavier.
The US nickel is 5 grams, one way to remember it.
And a penny is 2.5,
Yeah. So it's less than,
unless it's an old one.
so it's less than 3 nickels.
Right, an old penny is 3 grams, a very old penny. And then a dime is 2.236.
Yeah.
And a quarter is 6.36, I think. All right, I'm just gonna give it 1 second. And that might just be enough.
Actually, the
If I
master's-
go a little bit over, I'll be okay. Because I'm shooting for 7, I can go with 8. Oh gee, I'm not quite there. 20.2, I have a half a gram to go yet.
$150,000 for Sidewinder missiles. How many dollars per grand does it cost them?
Sometimes I'll do it at my home and bring it in covered with a blanket. a thin blanket.
Incompetent.
Yeah.
I do that a lot because it takes a while and the kids get impatient. Just like hams in a hot room.
This is really good to see.
Yep.
It's really good to see you do it though. You know, we get the real.
Actually, I think the military was doing the right thing, and just when it got political.
Okay.
You're there?
Looks that way.
21 grams, 20 point. Can't breathe on it. I have 7.2 grams free lift. That's good enough. A little bit more than than the average, but I can do up to 8 without risk, so I like it. 21. Take a picture of that one.
Yeah, it's really hard getting gas out of these balloons, isn't it?
Yeah, really hard,
Yeah.
really hard.
Why you don't want to overfill it.
I do have a, when I test these, when I do the
Scale say right now?
21.
I would think that using a straw like that, not hook up to a hose, because, you know, during some, I mean, it's not under a lot of pressure, of course, but.
You'd be surprised how long it would take to get, if I tried to squeeze half a gram out of that, it would take some effort.
Yeah.
No, I fill, overfill mine and I suck it out. You're just breathing on the tube.
Yeah, with
Okay?
helium you
With
can
helium,
do
with
that.
helium you can do it.
With helium. Don't do that with hydrogen.
You got a funny voice.
You do, your voice sounds really high.
You'd have no voice with hydrogen.
Just don't ignite it, that's all.
I guess it wouldn't hurt you.
No, it'll sound just like helium when you talk. Just don't ignite it, that's all.
Oh, man.
How do you seal that?
So what I do,
This is the hard part. We always have trouble with.
this is the swivel line, which I find these cards that for sewing, they're great for storing the string.
Want to open that door again?
Yeah. Is it okay to open the door?
Yeah, as long as it's not too breezy. Okay, so this is the swivel line. I've got a fishing hook swivel, very lightweight on the bottom. This part goes on the balloon. Before I do that, however, I kind of press that flat valve closed all the way up as best I can. Particularly that part right there, I really press hard on that. But you just want to try it and that, get that flat valve closed. It'll close naturally.
Is there
In
sticky stuff in
addition-
there to close it?
In addition, I'm going to take a piece of wide Kapton tape and put around once on the end, on the filling part here. But I press down on that filling part because it's got a little natural kind of a easy to it, a sticky to it. And let's get this.
Need help?
down. Yeah, this is generally a, if you could, grab it right there carefully, a little higher up, so I can get the tape down. There we go, perfect.
This is the trickiest part, we found, sealing it off.
Does the tape come like that?
It's in rolls. I put it on these are mailing level, the back of mailing levels for priority mail,
Okay.
and it's non-stick.
Okay.
So you can peel off the Kapton tape. I always have extra in case there's a mishap, like it curls up or sticks to itself. And then I just put it around, not all the way up to the balloon, but about there. And then I loop it around so that it sticks down below. There we go.
Did you include the weight of the Kapton?
I've already pre-calculated that. I know about how much tape it's going to take. Now when I've got that on there securely and I've pressed it down quite a bit, it will help seal it, particularly this end. I've sealed the end port with Kapton tape and I make sure there's no air bubbles in it. So it's sticking down about 1/2 inch from the filling nozzle. It still isn't into the balloon itself. And then I take this guy and I punch a hole such that it's going through my original hole and the Kapton, or I tried to anyways. That might be a little tricky out over here. There. Now, I take my string and I feed that through there. And I do
particular knots you like?
I do 2 overhands and 1 underhand. 2 overs and 1 under. So
Square knot.
just 2 square knots and a granny knot.
Okay.
And that seems to hold pretty well. Then I'm going to tape it over. And that should hold in pretty good. And I always kind of push up on it a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is put another piece of Kapton, about 2 inches long, 1 inch wide, over that. And of course,
You get this off the back of the priority mail envelope?
mm-hmm. So put that on there.
See, so Uncle Sam is so far.
There we go. And that's all I do. There we go. And we're actually ready to launch now.
Well, I think you need to tie the payload to it, don't you?
You do have to.
Okay, yeah.
Now you can do a double check based on how much lift that you have there. I mean, I know approximately how much tape is on there, but if you really run it to be particular, you can now put the scale on the floor, close the door, and make everybody hot again, and you can weigh it with the tape in the swivel and see if it correlates to what you want. So you can do a double check that way.
There's no way to change it.
There's no way to change it, but if you're way over, you can still tape a little weight on there. These little beads, the craft beads, they're about 1 gram each. You can put that on there. You can get those at the craft store. And I have some in there. So now, if somebody wants to hold this, all you do is you grab your APS tracker here. You make sure the antenna wires are unfurled, which they are.
It's right side up.
And the solar side up. You unhook the swivel. You put the gold rings through, and then you get that fishing line. You put that through. It's like threading a needle. There we go. And then you want to close the swivel, and you see there's a little slack. And we are ready to fly. So Ken and I will take this out. I'll take this out the door like this. We'll find a good place.
I don't see the
Here we
trees
go.
moving. That's a good sign.
We had to, you might want to help me guide it through. You can grab it, make sure that it's door.
Oh, wait a minute. Those flags are flying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, damn, now the wind picks up. Damn it. Flag's flying, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Now the wind picks up. Now it picks up. I was looking at those trees and didn't see anything.
Wow.
Okay. A little upwind.
I could.
Anybody got the radio on?
Okay, sure.
144.34.
Let's exchange lost a lot of weight. And when I lost all
Oh,
that
excuse me.
weight, I lost my insulation.
Everybody,
And I'm cold all the
this
time.
is not the most ideal condition.
Winter in New York is not acceptable.
I'm gonna go that way.
I need warm.
It's way over the, don't do this now. It's way over the weight limit. I mean, the wind is
The line.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, let it go.
So it's probably going to be transmitting pretty shortly. Get it in the sunlight, it'll start to transmit every few minutes.
Sorry.
It'll be transmitting all day long from a treetop or a light pole.
Or the atmosphere.
Okay, count it down.
9, 8,
Let's count it down from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go,
Oh,
go.
it's going fast. It's not doing anything.
They might shoot it down. There we go.
Oh, okay, we're clear. We're clear. Hot damn, that worked.
Is that the fox for a fox hunt?
Then a missile comes in from the side, right? I didn't turn my radio on yet.
Watch out, guys. It's all right. I'm done.
All right, here we go.